Hello and welcome to the new session of Fundamental Rights. In the earlier sessions we have seen the part 1 and 2 from articles 1 to 11. So in this part we are going to see the fundamental rights from articles 12 to 35. Okay. So there are 6 fundamental rights. We shall be seeing all of them in detail. So moving on to the fundamental rights. So what are these fundamental rights? Fundamental rights are very basic and need of the hour to a citizen. And we have adopted or inspired the fundamental rights from the US Constitution. Okay. So fundamental rights, whenever they are violated, we can approach the Supreme Court under Article 32 and High Court under Article number 226. Okay. So these are exclusive in nature and these are apart from any other rights. So moving on to the fundamental rights. So these are the 6 fundamental rights. We are going to see them in one by one manner. So the first, before that there are some other articles which are mentioned in part 3, like article number 12, article number 13 and article number 33, 34 and 35. We shall see the total part 3 from articles 12 to 35. So what is article number 12? So it tells about the definition of state. So what does the state includes? It includes the government of India and the government of the states, and also the Parliament of India and the state legislature, and it also includes rural and urban local bodies, that is panchayats and municipalities, and it also includes the government companies like ONGC, HPCL, where the government has stake in it. We have already learned the head of the state. So head of the state means head of all these. That means here we have the President of India, and head of the government is Prime Minister and the parliamentary form of government. So state is longer or the larger one than the government. So moving on to the next one, that is article number 13. So laws which are inconsistent with the part 3, that is fundamental rights, are declared as null and void. So what do you mean by null and void? So whenever the parliament or state legislature makes laws to take away the fundamental rights of citizens, they are declared as null and void by the judiciary, that is courts. So we cannot take away fundamental rights under article number 13. Moving on to the first fundamental right, that is right to equality, from articles 14 to 18. Okay. So these are the articles. First is article number 14, equality before law. Prohibition of discrimination under the grounds of religion, caste, creed, gender and place of birth, that is article number 15. Next is article number 16, equality of opportunities in terms of public employment. Next is article number 17, abolition of untouchability. Next is article number 18, abolition of titles except military and academic. So we'll deal about all these articles in first fundamental right, that is right to equality, from 14 to 18. We shall deal about them in detail. So what is the first article number in the first fundamental right? That is article 14, equality before law. So what do you mean by equality before law? Everyone is treated equal and they are equally protected before the law. There should be no exclusion of people saying you are rich class or you are middle class. Okay, everyone is treated equally before the law. So that is called rule of law. So rule of law we have adopted from the Britain or UK Constitution. Law should protect everyone equally, whether it is rich class or poor class, anyone. Okay. Next is article number 15, prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of religion, caste, creed, gender and place of birth. So on these reasons, nobody should be discriminated on these grounds. Okay, it's totally prohibited in India. And there are some special provisions, like 15 clause 3 says some special provisions to be given to women and children. Okay. So this is an exception under 15.3. Next exception is 15.4. There may be special provisions given to backward classes because they are not well developed in the country. So they are given special provisions under 15.4 also. Next, moving on to the next article, that is article number 16. Equality in terms of public employment. So public employment means in the government jobs there must be equality. Everyone must be treated equal. But there is an exception saying under Article 16(4). So what is that exception? It says the SCs and STs may be given reservations and it may not be more than 50% of the total reservations. Okay, because they are the backward classes in India. The scheduled castes and scheduled tribes must be given reservation in public employment. So this is an exception under article number 16. Okay, moving on to the next one, that is abolition of untouchability. So what do you mean by untouchability? So earlier the lower caste people like Shudras were treated as lower caste people and they were given not entry. They were not given entry into the temples. They were not allowed to drink water in the ponds, rivers, etc. So this is untouchability. So untouchability is totally abolished in India. Okay, it is also considered as crime in India. There may be punishment. Okay, Gandhiji was against untouchability. He has also established All India Harijan Sangh, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was a pioneer of untouchability. Okay, so to abolition of untouchability is mentioned in article number 17. Moving on to the article number 18, abolition of titles. So what do you mean by title? So except military and academic, remaining titles are banned in India. Military means like Air Chief Marshal, Army General, Commander, Lieutenant Commander, like that, they are allowed in India under military. And academic like B.Tech, B.E, BSc, BCom, BA, all these are allowed. And remaining titles like example Raja the Raja, I can't have that title. Okay, so if I want to have any title from foreign state, I have to get the permission of the President of India. So except military and academic, these titles are not included in India. Okay, they are allowed. Military and academic, remaining are not allowed. So these are the articles under the first fundamental right, right to equality. Moving on to the next fundamental right, that is right to freedom of these articles, article 19 to 22. So article 19 is protection of certain rights like freedom of speech, expression, etc. There are 6 rights in it. We'll see them in detail. 20 is protection in respect of conviction for offences. So offence means whenever we violate law, it is called as offence. So what are the protection available during that case? Next is 21, protection of life and personal liberty. Okay, and next is 22, protection with respect to conviction for offences. Okay, and this is article number 22, protection against arrest and detention. So we'll see about them in detail. So what do you mean by article number 19? 19 is a very important article in the Indian Constitution. So article 19 says protection of certain rights. So what are those rights? So all citizens shall have the right. There are 6 rights in article 19. The first is freedom of speech and expression. So everybody has freedom of speech. They can freely speak anything. Okay, it may be pro to the government, it may not be pro to the government. They are free to speak anything. Okay, and they must not be murdered for freely speaking against the government or for the government. Okay, next is expression. We have freedom to freely speak anything and we can freely express anything. Expression is done through hands or through movement of body. Okay, next right is freedom of assembly without arms. So I can freely assemble without arms anywhere in the country. The next right under article 19 is freedom to form associations or unions. I can form any union or association for the welfare of that union. Next is I can move freely throughout the country. Okay, no one can object me saying I am from that state or this state. And next, I can reside anywhere in the country. I can freely establish home, okay, or I can take it for rent in anywhere in the country. And the last right under article number 19 is to practice any trade or profession. So that means I can keep a chai shop, I can keep a jewelry shop, I can do any legal trade under article 19F. So these are the 6 rights guaranteed under article number 19. Okay, freedom of press comes under freedom of speech and expression. Okay, there is no separate freedom of press in the Indian Constitution. It comes under freedom of speech and expression, that is article number 19A. So these are 6 rights under article number 19. Moving on to the next one, that is article number 20, protection in respect of conviction for offence. So there is a protection whenever the person commits an offence. So the first protection is only for violation of the law the person must be arrested. Okay. Next is no double punishment for the same offence committed already. Already he has taken punishment, but he should not be given the next punishment for the same offence. That is called no double jeopardy. Okay. And the third protection is no person shall be compelled or forced to give evidence for themselves, for himself or herself. No forceful lie detector tests, forcefully collection of blood samples, hair samples. If they give, the authority may take, but no forcefully compulsion should be done on the person who is arrested. No third degree. Okay. So all these are the protections available under article number 20 when the person has committed an offence. So moving on to the next article, that is article number 21. Protection of life and personal liberty. Okay, so life means every living creature has life. Living creatures means not only human beings, right? There are other animals, plants are also living beings. So Jallikattu was banned under article 21 itself because they have right to life. But later it was added, the bull animal was added under the Protection of Wildlife Act exemption. Okay, in the 1972 Act was passed, Protection of Wildlife Act. Okay, so life, everyone has life, they have right to live. Okay, recently Supreme Court has also banned arresting of persons based on the committing of suicide. Okay, generally police arrest after he has committed suicide. This was also banned under, because right to live means right to die also. Okay, nobody can kill others, but he can kill his own self. Okay, but after he has committed suicide, the police are getting him arrested. So this arrest was banned by the Supreme Court. Okay, triple talaq was also banned. Environment protection, sound pollution, air pollution, all these are taken under article number 21. Important is right to privacy. Okay, recently Aadhaar linking was made mandatory, though this was a debate going on. So this comes under right to privacy because we give generally iris scanning and fingerprint details. So there may be a chance of leakage. Government is saying there will be no leakage, but some organizations are protesting against it. So right to privacy also comes under the article number 21. Triple talaq was also banned because it is against the right to life of Islamic woman. Okay. Moving on to the next article, that is protection against arrest and detention. So whenever the person gets arrested, there are some protections. The first protection is, first he must be known the grounds of why he is getting arrested. Okay. Next protection is he must be given chance to appoint a lawyer for himself or herself. The next protection is the person must be submitted before the court or nearest judicial magistrate within 24 hours of the arrest. It includes the transportation time also. This is the next protection. And the next protection is preventive detention. What is preventive detention? A person may be arrested before he commits the crime also. Suppose a person is linked to terrorist. So he may be arrested before itself to prevent the crime, because prevention is better than cure. So whenever a person is arrested against preventive detention, on the charge of preventive detention, he may be kept under the custody for 3 months only. That is the maximum time period. If the police wants to keep him for more time, they have to take the permission of judicial magistrate. Okay. So this is the part 1 of this fundamental rights. We shall continue in the next part. Thank you.